my stuff together. And Loki's here. Hi, Loki. Go ahead. Go on. Get up there. Welcome to my craft stream. I do this on Wednesdays, right at this time. Sorry for all the noise. And I just do it because I need to get my handmade gifts made. And I figured, you know, I would just come chill in here, and whoever wants to come can come. And yeah, so I want to look though at Facebook and make sure that everybody's got the link. So I'm gonna go drop that over there, and then we will get started. Okay. So if you want to go grab something to drink or whatever, I will get started probably in about 2 or 3 minutes. So thanks for your patience. And let's see. And now I'm going to go ahead and invite some people as well. Right. Send some invitations. All right. Okay, so today I'm working on my youngest dark ephemera journal. And oh, you know what? Let me actually let people get in on their own. So, hi, Michelle. All right. I'm gonna, all right. All right, Michelle and Sue, thank you for being here. I am going to talk for about 15 minutes. If you have questions or anything, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But I'm just going to be working, and I'll be talking about today. I am probably going to talk a little bit about I don't know what. Kind of had a busy morning, so I'm a little unprepared, but I mean, I always can figure out what to talk about, so it's really not that big of a deal. If you are on my newsletter list, then you probably know that I'm going through like a 6-part series. But in case you're not on there, I'm going to talk about some things, and I'll probably talk about them a little bit out of order. So the topic was for the 6-part series was why having more handmade gift ideas isn't enough. And the reason for that is because there's a few different things that happen when we make a plan. So at least this is how it is. This is how it is with me. Oh, thanks, Michelle, for the vote of confidence there, or the identification with my out of sortsness. So, you know, a lot of people, when they come into my group, they say, you know, that they're there for the ideas. And that's awesome, because we do a lot of different things and we share a lot of different stuff. And there are some really some really brilliant people in there that are really great at ideas and stuff. So, but here's the thing is that, we all have a Pinterest board, right? And it's probably super full of stuff. And, I feel like for me, and I think probably for you guys maybe too, there's kind of a disconnect, So we have this Pinterest board and we think that, we have all these ideas that we're going to do now. But what's difficult is that, we look at all the ideas and we don't know where to start, So one of the things we need is a plan. And in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm taking apart, taking some things off of this part of the junk journal because I want to change it up, because there was just lots and lots of skulls and things, which are fine, but I just don't want the whole junk journal to be skulls, because I just don't think that my youngest is, that into skulls. So in order to, make it more, attractive for them, I am going to just put some other things in. So anyway, we talked a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if either of you guys are, I don't know if either of you guys were here a couple of weeks ago when I talked about, I started talking about this topic, and I mentioned like, yeah, it's just not it's just not that easy, to just have ideas and be on our merry way. It just doesn't happen that way. I don't think I like this, but I'm just going to try it anyway. Yeah, I think polka dots are a little too light. So it's just one of those things where, we figure out that, all right, so now I've got the ideas, but now what do I do, with all the ideas? So a plan, we talked also about a plan, that we need a plan. And this is 5.5 by about 8.5. And so when we're making a plan, we might buy like a brand new who's done this before? You buy a brand new planner, and you think like, yeah, I'm like super guilty of buying like new planners and stuff, and going, now I'm going to be able to be organized. And that doesn't necessarily work, because I'm really super excited. I love to plan things and everything, but I really, really suck at follow through. So, and what's a bummer about that is that, well, I don't know what I just did. So I'm just going to go over here and do this. So I'm really bad at follow through. And that tells me that ideas and a plan are not enough. So then what happens? Then I need to, I start figuring out, well, let me just get started. So, I'm just going to put some execution into play. And pretty soon I'm losing steam, because it's just difficult to find time around, with regular life and stuff. It's just difficult to find all the time that we need to make the handmade gifts that we want to make. And I don't know about you, but it's taking me a really long time to figure out what it is a good system. I mean, I've figured it out now because I just ended up writing one for myself because there just wasn't anything like that out there. And I still don't know if there's anything like the system that I wrote out there. I'm sure that there are people out there that are like super, like mega organized and, they've written stuff, or they don't think of it as they've written stuff. They think of it as like, this is just how they live their life. But for me, being, somewhere along the lines of ADHD, I just cannot seem to stay on task in the way that I would really like to. So anyway, that makes it rough. So what I have learned though, in the last year, I have done a lot of coaching for my business and for other things that, I've wanted to accomplish. I've noticed that the thing that people say a lot that all my coaches talk to me about is mindset. So I'm learning that I'm only going to get done as much as my mind will allow me to get done. All right? Because, I might say to myself, wow, I'm just so busy. I'm just so busy. And as far as that goes, that could totally be true. But the problem with that is that if I'm telling myself, oh, I'm so busy, then there's no real solution to that, and it makes it feel like not doable. It makes it feel like, oh, that's just it. I just don't have enough time, and there's no solution. So I'm into solutions, and that is what I teach in Handcrafted Gifts Made Simple, are solutions to this problem, because we all kind of have this problem, or else we wouldn't be, interested in what in what I even talk about, and maybe you are, maybe you're not, maybe it's just, you just kind of wandered in because, we do this or whatever, and you wanted to see what it is, but it is largely what I talk about, what I teach in Handcrafted Gifts Made Simple, because it's super important to understand, how our brain works in regards to making plans and carrying out those plans. And so, like I said, you may be really, really organized and stuff. And I think that that's amazing. If you are really organized, that's really great, because that means that you're not letting things get in the way of your, hang on one sec. That you're not letting things get in the way of your plans. All right. Which means, how funny. I think my screen is like, I don't know. I think it said my hand was raised. Anyways, all right. Now I just forgot what I was saying. Goodness. See how distracted I get, you guys? It's difficult. It's hard to be me. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. It's not. But I mean, I just get distracted that way. So, I think that for us, mindset is such a huge deal, because it's the difference between whether or not we're going to finish our plan or not, and so we spent all this money, right? Who has like, a jillion things in their craft stash? Not me. Just kidding. I do. And I'm willing to bet you guys also do. So you may or may not feel kind of guilty even about that you have all this stuff in your craft stash. And I get it. I feel that way too, or I did for a long, long time. I felt like, it was just when was I ever going to stop buying stuff? When was I ever going to be able to use this? Because I'm totally lost. I don't even know where to start, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. So, it can be really discouraging. But in Handcrafted Gifts Made Simple and in Handmade Gift Bosses, we're not about that. We're about um, getting shit done, but we're also about being kind to ourselves, understanding that, our brain is going to um, encourage us one way or the other, and it's usually the other. If you have trouble, if you're like me and you have trouble staying organized or staying on task, so that's another thing that I talked about not too long ago, was the mindset stuff. Because one thing that I really, really believe is that we live our lives in our head before we live it, out in the world. And so what does that mean? It means that, I don't know if you guys are like, are Bible readers at all, but I can remember reading a verse before, a part of a story where God said, whatever man thinks of, he can do. And I've always believed that, that's really a true statement. I mean, we know it's true because, we have the Wright brothers, and we have, people that have wanted to, like, who was it that did the light bulb? I'm sorry. I wanted to say Alexander Graham Bell, and I just know that's not right. But at any rate, Thomas Edison, tried many, many times before he was able to accomplish, the light bulb in the way that he wanted to do that. And so he lived that out, lots of times. He had to think about it. How am I going to do it this time? How am I going to do it that time? And I don't know how many times he tried it, but it was a lot. And so, we do that. And so, because of that, we have to be really mindful about what we're thinking about. You ever heard anybody tell you, like, you need to think about what you're thinking about? And I really believe that. And once I started believing that and understanding that that is a thing, my life started changing. And not only like in the area of my business, but it started changing, like, my life just started changing in really profound ways. And so this is the reason why I love to talk about this stuff. And for some people, they might think, well, this isn't crafting or whatever, and that's cool. I get it. But I believe in empowering people. And I coach pretty much every day, offline, and not even in my business, just as a service. And people's lives, when they're freed up to believe better things about themselves and about their situations, they change their lives that way. And that's how, it worked for me. And so I passed that along, and I really love to do that here too. And so, this may or may not be for you. I get it. But I know that many of us walk around, life carrying around like burdens, And one of the burdens, if we're talking about crafting, one of the burdens that we have, might be like, look, I bought this whole, shit ton of stuff to make handmade gifts. And here, look at me not doing it. And it's a bummer. So then every time you go and see that stuff in your closet or whatever, there you are feeling guilty about it, and crafting is such a joyful thing. Don't you guys think so? It's really joyful, and it can be really relaxing and really great for our mental health. And so, yeah, I just really believe that if we're going to do handmade gifts, we have to be intentional about it. But intentional isn't just going to be, I've got my ideas, I've got my stuff, I've got my plan, everything's on the calendar. It isn't going to be that. That's not enough. What's going to end up, stopping you will be what your mind thinks about what you're doing right now while you are taking out all your craft stuff to do your gifts. Is your mind saying, I really should not be doing this? This is frivolous time for me. When it really isn't frivolous time. You're actually just carrying out a plan that you had. But because crafting feels good, we might feel like, oh, this, we can set this aside because this is just me. And as moms, you guys ever read that or see that book or hear that book title, Moms Eat Burnt Toast? It's because we put ourselves last all the time, right? And that's fine, except that we really get into that habit and don't understand that if we're constantly putting ourselves last, it's going to be that much more difficult for us, to serve the people around us, and whether or not you like the idea or I like the idea of service, that is what we do. That is what we're doing every day. When we're cooking, when we're cleaning, when we're, doing all the things that we do. So anyway, I only really just wanted to talk for a couple of minutes. I kind of want to keep this. I mean, I can talk forever, but I kind of want to keep this to a to short, because I want to also, hi Tina. I also want to let you guys know that if you like what you just heard, I do teach that in Handcrafted Gifts Made Simple. We talk about this. And we also do lots of other things like challenges and stuff like that in the membership. So if you're interested in learning more, you can go over to createahandmadeholiday.com and /wait-list, and you'll get put on an email list, and you'll get some things that will help you to get started with your handmade gifts. And then when the doors open, we'll let you know when that is. All right. And so you want to make your handmade gifts, this is the place to be, because we get stuff done. All right. So let's see, what else do I have? If you guys are on my email list, don't forget to read the newsletter every Friday, because you're not only going to get like a tip, or what am I calling it? I don't know. It's not really like a tip, but it's more like an encouragement. And you'll also get, if you use a Cricut or a Silhouette or some kind of cutting machine, you'll get a free SVG sometimes. Other times you'll get, another, like a free instructions. Let me show you what is coming out this week. This Friday, you'll get instructions to make this adorable little tag. And this is from Shelly Ontis, my friend from We Can Make That. And so, yeah, I will be sending that out. And other times you'll get like free SVGs like from my shop. And I'm starting to design them, and I'm not going to tell you guys that they're awesome or anything, but they are good for a brand new person. So you can get that for free by being on the email list too. And I'm not going to be putting that into the group, the free ones. However, if you are in the membership, you will get access to the SVG portal where all of my designs go, even the ones that are, don't tell anybody, Kay. Thanks, Tina. You'll get even the ones that are that I do that are copyrighted that I really can't, it's not ethical to sell, but I can share them with you guys, for free. So yeah, so the SVG portal, and as a matter of fact, any of you guys that are in the, I think, Tina, Darla, I'm not sure if Sue and Michelle are, but if you guys are in the membership, the SVG portal is up, and I believe Anna added everybody in the membership to that portal. So if you go into Handcrafted Gifts Made Simple, you're going to see the SVG portal and what is available right now. And all the things that are available are the things that are ready to be released to my shop, or that I have tested or somebody else has tested and it worked well. And yeah, there we go. So Michelle, you can go and get on the wait list, createahandmadeholiday.com/wait-list. And if you can't wait, if you're just really needing, some encouragement and help to stay on task this year for your holiday gifts, you can go ahead and message the team. You can message Alyssa and let her know that I said that you can get in if you want to right now. If you don't, that's totally fine too. The wait list is just fine. This is no pressure. But I really do want to help you guys if you are struggling to get your stuff done. Awesome. Yeah. So just info@createahandmadeholiday.com and just say, hey, Kristi said that the doors are closed, but that, that I can get in, and then they'll talk to me and confirm, and then we'll get you going in there. So anyway, that's pretty much what I have to talk about, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in there, Michelle. We're doing a challenge right now, a handmade gift supercharge challenge. And so we're meeting every Monday and we're talking about that, doing a little bit of mindset stuff and everything. And so Andrea, hello, Darla. All right. So you guys are very welcome to come off of mute, and we can all just chit chat. And wait, Michelle, you said something before. That's my problem. I have so many things I want to make and I don't know where to start. Created a whole box of stuff for a junk journal and don't know where to start with that either. You know what? Junk journals can be really, they can be kind of hard. I've been working on this one for probably the better part of this year. It's not that I've been like nonstop working on it, but sometimes I just don't have the ideas, you know what I mean? And so I wait, and then I think about, what I want to do and all that kind of stuff. But this one's a gift for my youngest, and so I want to make sure that it reflects their personality and their likes and stuff. And so I'll show you guys the one I was working on last time. I don't know that I finished it when you guys were here, but this one is if you guys want to see it up close, you can go up to the screen where my hands are, and you can go to the three dots, like mouse up to the corner, upper right-hand corner, the three dots, click it, and then click pin, and then you'll get to see it big. And so this is the one I was working on last time, and it's kind of like a book theme with why can't I think of this guy's name? I forget his name. Anyways, who wrote The Telltale Heart and The Raven, and yeah, Edgar Allan Poe. So anyway, this is what I was doing. This was actually a signature that somebody else made for me, and I kind of took it apart a little bit. I kept some things, covered some things. So you know, just rearranged a little bit. And so I added some stuff like oh, no wonder that's not coming out. So this is like stuck right here as a little paper tuck, and then I added another paper tuck here, and just, you know, cut a few pieces of paper and embellished a little bit, and you know, added it into here so that there would be some paper to write on. And it doesn't necessarily have to just be something that every page is decorated, you know. You can 100% just, you know, put some little papers in there, and, you know, because you want this to be something functional and beautiful. So this is a really cool, let me show you these that I did. Actually, I'll show you how to make one of these. These are really super cool. This is made by out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I'll show you what they look like outside of a journal. And so they kind of look like this. And this is just made out of, I don't know if you guys garden, but this is the Baker Creek, the old catalog, and they're so vibrant and pretty, you know. So I made some little pockets, but this is basically the same pocket as that, the same kind. And I really like it because it's got, like, you know, this pocket here and this pocket here. I actually glued this one down, but I don't think you have to do that. I'll have to try it again and see. But it gives you a few really cool looking pockets that you can put things into, you know. I really like it.
Kristi, is that an A4 sheet just folded?
This?
Yes.
It's folded and glued. Here, I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Let me find a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then I got you.
I was just going to ask the same thing if you could show us how to,
What's that?
fold it. I was just going to ask you the same thing about showing us how to fold it.
Yeah, for sure. So this is just a, you know, use any paper you want, you know, you can use scrap, whatever. So basically this is just like this. You're going to want to, I don't know, some people make sure that this is folded over like that. And then, I don't know, I think you can just kind of play around with it and see what look you like. Let me do this instead. Okay, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. But basically, you're just going to fold it like that. And what's cool about this is that, you know, you can save, like, I don't know about you guys, but I really hate throwing away paper, especially if it's like marked on one side, you know, because I always just, I don't know, funny about wasting paper, I guess. So anyhow, basically what you do is you're gonna sort of match these, make them flush with the bottom, match these like this, And if you want, you can fold them first. And use your bone folder or your burnisher to get some nice edges. And then what I like to do is I like to take this side here and just tuck it into this side. All right. So this is what it ends up looking like. So here's the shape. Then what I like to do is on this one here, I ended up adding like a little bit of this paper to the edges there. And then I put some grosgrain ribbon there that matched up here. And so that's how I made that, how I embellished it. And so you can see that same sort of technique here, where I just added some ribbon along the edges. And basically, what it is, see, look, this could be actually a pocket as well. So you can go 1, 2, 3 pockets, and then this is actually also a pocket. So, but you can embellish it however you want.
Is it terrible to ask you to do the fold one more time?
Oh, no, not at all. I totally can do it. Yeah. I'd be happy to do it as many times as you guys need to see it. So let's try it with this size paper. This is a little bit different. So I'm kind of curious to know if I can just, if I had a scrap like this from a 12 by 12, this is a 7.5 by 12 scrap of paper. And so I want to see if I can do this. This is cardstock, so it's a little more fiddly. I want to see what this ends up looking like if I do this. So basically, you're going to just fold this over, right? Your first fold. And then your second fold is going to not necessarily be a fold at first, but you're just going to sort of put it like this and see how you like, if you like how it looks. The bottoms of each side should be flush with this bottom here. And then once you get it how you like it, then you can burnish it. Whoops, don't damage your paper. And then take your the last part is going to be, and I'm going to just cut this off, this part here. Just, I don't want the bulk. And now I'm just going to go ahead and take this and fold it right into this. Does that make sense, Tina?
That's really cool,
Mine
Kristi.
don't look like yours, but
it's okay. Just keep practicing, just keep practicing it, because basically you're just looking for, you're just going to do this first fold, right? And it's not going to look like anything. And then you're going to just put these two together and just make it like a square on the bottom.
okay.
And then just tuck one side into the other. And with different pieces of paper, you guys, it looks totally different, right?
There we go. Okay.
Did you get
I
it?
found what there we go. I found it. I found what I did wrong.
Nice.
There we go.
So you see how using different paper though can give you a completely different, different look. And even you can do stuff like this if you want to. You can, if you don't want the sharp, the sharp edges, you can, make them a little rounded if you'd like, or even more rounded. I don't know.
I have tons of paper that's got designs and whatnot on it, of scrapbook paper. So
yeah, it's really that's cute, huh? With the softer.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, if you have like old scrapbook paper that you just haven't used because you don't really, you don't know what to do with it or whatever, you could just
Yeah.
make these pockets.
Yeah, quite a few years ago, we got a bunch from a yard sale. They were getting rid of it, and we got a good deal on it, so we just got it.
Yeah. So here's a tip for you, Michelle, and anybody else who wants to do junk journals. Learn one like pocket idea or something first, and then just make it a bunch of times. And what you want to do, you want to make it a bunch of times so that you can have, a whole crap load of these in your stuff, right? So that you're not stuck making everything individually for every page for your junk journal, because that's what takes forever, So there's your little tip for that. And I'm just playing around with different pockets and stuff, seeing what I could share. But that was my favorite one that I saw. And you could even do these with smaller ones too, smaller pieces of paper. They're just going to end up looking a little different depending on the size of your paper. This one doesn't look all that great, but here, let's maybe shorten this. But just play around with it, because there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just the way that you do it, right? So I think I want to bring this one over a little bit more. But just play around till you get one that you like, and then duplicate it a jillion times. You're welcome, Michelle. And so, hang on.
I was actually thinking you had washi tape on the edges of the other one, Kristi.
Oh, yeah.
But ribbon's a great idea.
Yeah, you can use washi tape. I mean, I have like a ton of washi tape, and that's really actually a great idea. Hang on, let me go grab some real quick. See if I can find here. These are cute. Ooh, guys, I found some really cool washi tapes that I have. These ones are probably just too thick for this, but look at how cool these are. Wait, look, it's Alice in Wonderland. Cool, huh? And this one's just like roses, but it all matches. It'd be a really cool thing to put into like a Alice in Wonderland. I think that was the only Alice in Wonderland. Anyways, I got all these washi tapes, and I think I will decorate this with it. And I'm going to cover that fold so that I don't have to see that. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. There's always a way to cover them up. Oh, I don't know artsy, but that sounds really fun. I have a whole bunch from, I think it's Stamperia. It's really cool paper. I would love to see the Alice in Wonderland paper though that you got, because Michelle, because I love Alice in Wonderland. I just think it's like such a cool vibe, and I'm sort of more into like gothic and like dark ephemera kind of stuff or whatever. I do like bright and cutesy stuff too, but I guess it's probably because I am doing Ezra's journal that I'm just finding myself, really enjoying that. But I feel like Alice in Wonderland has a vibe, like a dark vibe. And it's really cool, interesting. Right. So I'm going to use this in this journal as well. And here's a thing that I did in this. I don't know if how you guys feel about tearing up books, but I have no problem at all doing that, especially if it's something I got from the library or something that, if I get it from Dollar Tree, I'm okay with that too, tearing up those books, because it just is I just don't like this. I don't know, maybe the books in Dollar Tree won't go in the trash, but I do know that in the library, those books are just not, they need some new life, so anyway, let's see. I want to do something on this side. Anyway, what reminded me of this was this, because this was the inside of a cover of a book called Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. It was like from these two girls that do this true crime podcast. And I thought it was really cute because there was a lot of different really cool and interesting quotes in there. And also, the bonus is you get a lot of, book pages that you can tear up and, use on your in your junk journal. So I think I'm going to keep doing this. This is like crooked, you guys. Goodness. I don't like crooked. Ugh, that's really annoying, but oh well, that's fine. I'm not going to stress. You know what? I'll just make it straight. I'll just make it do what I want it to do. All right. So Tara Jacobson. Okay. If you think of it and want to share it in the group, that would be great. Is it a free one or is it a pay one? Either way is fine. I'm just curious to know. Either way, you can post it in there. All free. Oh, fantastic. I think that'll be really wonderful then for everyone. Nice. Thank you for sharing that. All right. I am trying to figure out where we're at here. There we go. Oh, cool. Thanks, Michelle. I love this group because, oh, did you guys hear my dog? She was dreaming. Because she's dreaming. Are you okay, Bella? Let me go give her a little bit of lovies. Hold on. You okay, honey? Are you okay? Oh, sounded so sad. Sounded so sad. He's okay. That was so sad though. Such a sad little sound. Okay, I think I'm liking this. I think this could be good right here. All right. Hey, Monique. We're talking Alice in Wonderland paper right now. Right. Let's see. think I'll just cut that here. This is it. Oh, I see what it is. I see what I did. Okay, that's fine, whatever. It's just gonna be what it is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, how you doing?
Pretty good. I had to get me food first because I realized I hadn't eaten yet.
Yeah, I know. Everybody should bring their snacks and their coffee and their wine and their whatever it is that it's appropriate for them.
I did that before I logged in because I came straight from rehab, so physical therapy, so I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh no. You saw my food. It has tomatoes. I said no tomatoes.
No tomatoes. My husband doesn't like tomatoes either.
I
And
don't like fresh tomatoes. I like sun-dried, stewed in a sauce. I don't like fresh tomatoes.
gotcha. Yeah, he doesn't either. He doesn't either. And it's always a bummer whenever they make that mistake. Okay, so I think this looks better. What do you guys think? I don't know. I just wasn't into the grunge look for this journal. I mean, I'm okay with, with it. I guess I will use a little bit, but oh guys, I want to show you guys some envelopes that I made.
That looks
Show you
cute.
guys how to make these on Thursday. But so these are my tea dyed papers, right? And they're kind of grungy looking. And so basically what this one is it's like shaped like odd shaped and just folded. And then I just played around with my sewing machine and some scraps and stuff. And this says the black cat. Oh, you guys probably already can see that. So I put a tarot kitty. And then I did this. I did a different, style. But I think these are really cool. And this is one I haven't finished it yet, but check it out. It's pretty cool, right? And this is pretty similar to this one here. Oops. But it's just long. And so I'm going to use these inside of this journal somewhere. And
Like them a lot. They're
yeah.
really
I think they look great, Kristi. I love how you can take one thought idea and just blow it up into different proportions.
Yeah. I usually just use other people's ideas, so I'm just saying these are not my, my personal ideas, but they are ones that I thought were really cool. And that's all crafting is though, right, guys? Just taking other people's ideas and making it your own, right?
I don't think there is an original idea anymore. There's play on ideas now, or you made it your own twist, but I don't think there is 100% an original idea. You take a little from here and a little from here, and you make it your own.
I completely agree. And so I'm wondering if I should do it that way or this way.
Michelle, it takes time for all of us. I'm still going very slow, and I've been trying to craft for years.
Well, I think that crafting is kind of a patient, thing to do. It's kind of chill. And I don't think it should be rushed.
Goal is just a start, and you're good.
Well, Kristi, you guys have got the first group that I found that's really got me going on stuff like this.
Yeah.
Jennifer
Artsy
Maker
fartsy life.
got me Jennifer Maker got me going on the stuff that she does, and really got me into it. But she doesn't do groups like this. And I like the group settings. And that's basically, to put it in a nutshell, you guys are kind of sort of helping kick my butt,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know.
that's the thing, right?
and,
Some of us
and
need it.
that's what I kind of need is I need that, how do you say, Kristi, help me with the right word.
Accountability.
Yeah, thank you, because my head's just everywhere today.
I
In
need it
order
too.
to keep me going. I have my bad days, I have my good days, um, tons of health issues, but you guys are helping keep me going and flowing. Um, I'm not quite on track, but I'm doing something. I'm getting something accomplished. So,
Yeah, I think you're doing great. I mean,
but
it's my philosophy is always that if you are making goals, like setting goals, it's better, even if you don't meet them, it's better to have set them and not met them than not made the goals at all, because um we hit somewhere between there, between the ideal and you know where we were, and we might just have been just stuck, if not, I don't know if that makes sense.
Better to have tried at least once.
Huh?
I said, I always think it's better to have tried at least once, even if it
Agreed.
doesn't work out. At least you tried. Most people don't even have the courage to try.
Yeah. Crafting's relatively safe too, I mean, gift making, it's got a little bit of risk to it, but crafting in itself is pretty safe. So this is what I'm doing with this, you guys. This is just a small bag, a little black bag, gift bag. I'm going to make a little bitty journal with it to tuck in somewhere. And so I guess it'll close like this. And then I'm going to glue these here, and this will make, a little tuck place. And then this here will be a place like to put stickers and some things like that. So, but I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. And I may.
What's the picture on it?
What's the picture?
Yeah, I couldn't see it.
Something creepy, probably.
I was trying to figure out like the face.
Yeah. It's like creepy old picture, This is my my dark ephemera journal. So I'm making for Ezra, my youngest. And so you know,
I like it. The dark and creepy. It's good.
I know you do. That's why I think I felt like immediate kinship with you. That and the journal stuff,
I was cutting out these thank you cards, and I was like, oh man, I forgot this is the cutter that's not cutting right, and it's all like jaggedy and stuff. And I'm like, you know what though?
Yeah.
I like it because that's kind of me.
Yeah.
But I am going to ink the edges, and I'm going to finish them off a little.
There you go. Yeah. Sure. I'm glad Andrea mentioned the washi tape, because yeah. So I'm going to keep working. Y'all are welcome to stay or not, but I just want you to know that it won't hurt my feelings if you have to go. But I think I want to work a little bit longer, and anyone who wants to stay and fellowship and work a little bit longer, be happy to have you.
I just got here, so I'm staying.
All right. I'm glad.
I just got to make sure I mark myself to go to the post office.
Ah. How's the manufacturing going?
Actually, really, really good. We figured out a way to make them way faster
Really?
and really nice. But we have to test something on Friday when it comes, because we found a way to make them really cool.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I have a sample. I mean, they don't look too much different probably to most people, but for us, we know what's different.
Right.
But
I want to see if you have it.
yeah, so like when we make them, let me show you. When we make them, they actually come in 4 pieces, so we have to assemble them.
Okay.
So like this is my little assembly bag of some that I have to assemble. So
Okay.
it has a bottom piece, a top piece, and a bottom and a top piece for the little slide out bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it takes time, and we have to liquid weld them, which is not fun. It doesn't
How
smell
does
nice.
that work?
It's a liquid welding glue for plastics.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of melds it together, but that's what makes them so strong. So like we've done it where we
Yeah.
try to like bend them and open them and do all kinds of things. We've only gotten one like really open after we've done that, but we
Wow.
really had to like pry it. My brother like wanted to test how hard it was to pry them open. I don't suggest doing that, but
Yes, right.
but
Unless we intend to buy another.
yeah. But now instead of it coming in pieces, it's printed all in one piece now. Even though it
Wow.
has different colors, there's a way to print them all in one single pass, which
Yes.
cuts the time down. And we got rid of a little, when you print them. So for instance, like this part right here, there's a gap right here.
Okay.
If you can see it, like there's a gap right here from, you know,
Right.
from this thing hitting to the bed of the plate that you print on. And so you can't print on nothing. You can't just print midair.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to have supports or like a brace or like a support underneath it to
Oh,
so
I see. So this part here, you mean?
right. So and that comes in 2 pieces. Yours is a little different. Yours was actually in 2 pieces, so it doesn't have as many supports. But like say for instance, like where these holes are and you have like these lines,
Mm-hmm.
it has to have something to build on top of. So it has to build a brace
Gotcha.
first. So we figured out a way to eliminate most of the brace because that takes time because the machine has to change, has to spew out one color
Yes.
to change over to the other color and then start printing in that color so you don't have any weird color changes. And it's a weird different plastic that's meant to just break away and break apart from the item itself.
Oh, wow.
So we figured out a way to eliminate most of that now too. The only issue we were running into and also was that one, because they're printed on 2 different ones,
Mhm.
you know the surface that you feel it. You know how you can feel it and it's got that little bit of a rough feel, but it looks kind of
Yep.
shiny and sparkly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's because that's the part that lays on the bed. The part that it builds up on doesn't get that same sparkly. And you guys never actually see that because it's pretty much hidden the way that it was designed and put away. So you don't see all of this, all
Yes,
this
I see
mess.
what it's just
Yeah.
like right here, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit more rough. Just that one area. That's the one area. So we figured out how to do it so that it actually gets smoothed out. So it's actually smooth right here. So you don't get that sparkle. That's the only thing. The sparkle goes away a
Oh,
little.
I love the sparkle.
I know. You still get it on the other side, but you won't get it on this top side. You only get it like on the back.
Gotcha.
But the problem was this right here,
Uh-huh.
where it has the wording,
Yeah.
on this back end looks terrible.
Oh no.
So we're like, there's got to be another way. We need to cut down the time, but we need to still make it look, this one looks even worse than it is because we were experimenting on different ways to make it look better. It doesn't actually look that bad.
Right.
But we were experimenting. So then we figured out, I'm like, wait a minute. So we're like, so the new ones are not going to have any words or anything that are 3D printed. There's actually a product that think of it like a sticker, but it's permanent. It's called UVDTF.
Mhm.
And it's a permanent sticker, sort of. So the new ones, because we were having problems, like we can't label them with our company name or anything.
Oh.
Because it comes out really funny like this if we try to 3D print it in there. The closest thing I was able to do is get my star in there, which is like this.
Mhm.
So with the new UVDTF, it's a permanent sticker. So now when you get them, it's actually going to have a very clear sticker here that tells you the size and the side. It's going to have a very clear sticker of the little mini me right here. It's going to have my Misfit
Cute.
Crafter logo on my website on it. So but
Oh,
nice and
nice.
clear and in color and pretty.
That's awesome.
So, but the experiment starts on Friday on whether those UVDTF stickers do what they really say they do. And so far, every other test I've ever seen them on. And if you look on other items, if you ever got a plastic item that has
Mhm.
like a little raised filling where there's words or a picture,
Okay. Yeah.
that's UVDTF.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Nice. I
So I'm
can't
like,
wait to see.
I'm waiting for Friday for them to arrive. I ordered them all. We'll see how they look.
Oh, wow. I'm excited to see. So
So
yeah,
it went
they're
from
going to be back in stock soon then?
yeah, we're hoping if Friday works out and it sticks just fine, we went from only being able to make 4 to 6 a day,
Wow.
to like 24 to 40 in a day now.
Wow,
So
that's great.
yeah, it was a big difference and it was hard to keep up with the demand. And today I am working on packaging up all the pre-orders. So I'm trying to get all these thank you cards done. Because we have a few pre-orders and then there's people like on the tell us when it's in stock list.
Yes, the wait list.
Yeah.
Gotta have a wait list. Yeah, I love it. I love mine. I use it quite a bit.
I like it. I was surprised that when I start diving deeper into what my site offers me, like Wix offers for my site, I was like, oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, which reminds me, I need to make an announcement. I wanted to make an announcement later on today for my people for their birthdays. I want them to put their birthdays so I can give them something for their birthday.
Aw. They're so nice.
There's like not that many people put their birthday on there, so we'll see. I mean, if they don't want to, they don't want to. That's fine. But
Oh. I wonder what I should put inside of here. Maybe I should put the sky inside of here. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it'd be nice if we could see him, Kristi.
Huh? See
I
him?
think it'd be nicer if we could see it,
I agree.
not hidden completely.
Yeah,
Just my
that's what I
opinion.
think. Yeah, this was something Ezra picked out. So I know that they're gonna want to look at it. They're gonna want to see it somewhere. I think this one is gonna be more like I think I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna save that and do more like moon stuff. Maybe cats. I really like this moon paper. So this paper right here was I printed on the matte photo paper, like you mentioned, Monique. Remember when you did
I was shoving a fry in my mouth, sorry.
huh?
I've shoved a French fry in my mouth.
It's okay, you can eat, I'll talk. But when you on that the YouTube stream that you did, the
Mhm.
video, it was the I think it was like, yeah, I think it was Alice in Wonderland style paper.
Oh, my,
And you showed the difference between the regular paper.
this one?
Yes, and you showed the difference between the matte paper or the matte photo paper and just regular paper.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
all
I'm
right,
using
I'm
the
buying that.
matte and regular. Yeah, or the
Yeah.
photo matte and the regular.
Yeah, this is the matte paper, and it's just so
Pretty,
nice.
right?
Huh?
It pops really nice. I love the way the
It
color
does.
pops.
It really
Okay,
does.
this is just playing around here, so
What do you got? Oh yeah, really
That's
cute.
cute.
Hold on, let me see. I want to see it bigger. Yes, you
That
got it.
looks great, Tina.
That looks great.
That's looking good.
I
Yeah.
went digging through my daughter's uh ah,
Hey,
Nice.
I went through my daughter's stash and found some so I can
Yeah.
play with.
Yeah, man. She'll never miss it.
Right? We've got tons of it here, so she
I
uses it for she does resin stuff and she uses it to hold her
Mhm.
charms and stuff when she gives them away. So
Nice. Yeah. Mhm. This one's coming together kind of with like moons and circles, and I think that's what I'm doing. Sort of. Yeah, I guess I am.
my daughter would be a taker on that on the book you're doing
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. I just love like this style so much. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna show you something real quick. I just made this today. It's
Oh
like just a
wow.
prototype, right? I mean, this is the one I did from the cartonnage class, and everything was pre-cut for me. But I'm wanting to do like a cut file so that you guys can cut cereal boxes and do these, but they're a little big. It's kind of rough still, but it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
And you just put in these like $2
Nice.
things that you can
Yeah,
get from
little
Amazon.
3-ring binder.
Yeah, but I should
Nice.
have this. I should have that soon. I'm putting it together for a summit, but you know, everything goes into well, I don't know about everything, but pretty much for the most part, everything goes into the membership portals. So
Kristi, I ended up after Monday your time session, I spent probably about 3 or 4 hours looking at how you wrap fabric around books and making book paper and stuff like that. Quite intrigued at what you're going to do with that class when it comes up. So yeah, looking forward to it.
which one was it?
The cartonnage
Oh
class.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love this project because it's like it doesn't take long and it looks really, really fabulous, you know? I think the only thing I need to do is to get is to figure out how many pieces of cereal box need to be stacked to be stiff enough. And I think I've got it. This is 3. And then there's 2 here, you know, for this piece here. But since I know that, hi Loki. Since I know that, I just need to get the sizes right. And I also have one of those long cutting mats on order, so that, like a strong grip one, so that I can cut all the pieces at the
Kristi, would
same.
the weight of the fabric you choose also play a part in that?
Yeah, I only use like a cotton, like fat quarters,
Yeah.
calicos,
Okay.
and they're all about the same weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you know what else? Actually, that's not true. This is actually a fabric from a little girl's dress.
Yeah.
I just love the fabric, and I was like, yeah, I love that. And this one I think is a calico. I mean, fat quarter. But this is the type of fabric you can get like in a fat quarter. So you'd be real safe with that.
Yeah. And do you do anything to prepare the fabric before you stick it on there?
So if you're gonna, no, I don't. I actually don't.
Okay.
I just put glue on the cardboard, and then I, put it on there and smooth it out really well with this thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So you guys should be able to pick it up pretty quickly.
So the rabbit hole I went down was making book paper and stuff like that, like proper book paper to
Yes.
stop the glue from coming through and stuff like that. And I'm going, oh, it's too complicated.
You mean making paper?
No, making making the fabric so that it becomes waterproof, essentially.
Oh.
So when they make proper books, as in book binding,
Okay.
they prepare the fabric first, and they call it book paper fabric. Yeah, book paper fabric or something. And yeah, it's just a whole another rabbit hole you can go down.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And I will if I go and look.
Well, yeah.
So easy.
So easy to do.
Yes. Oops.
I know I have a friend that she does a lot of fabric book covers, and she does the oh, what do you call it? The heat and bond. It's
Yes.
the no-sew heat and bond, and it's like a double-sided. So she'll bond it to the fabric first, and then she then irons and bonds it to the to like another piece of I think she does it to the chipboard or something, and then
Okay.
closes it all
I
up
think
with the glue.
so some of the people I was watching the other day sort of stuck tissue paper on the inside of the fabric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, lots of different options, I think.
Her name's Tsunami Rose. You probably ran into her on YouTube a lot.
Who?
Tsunami Rose.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
her YouTube. She does like a lot of the sewing, and she does like digital papers. She kind of stopped, but she's here in Vegas too, but she's been doing it for a while, but I know hers is always fabric and ironing, and now she's getting into making quilting covers, so she actually sews
Oh, that's cool.
quilting squares and stuff for her covers now.
I was thinking about that, that would be a really cool thing to do. So I'm hoping to, because it's a Cricut summit, I'm hoping to figure out how to, cut everything on the Cricut, but it will absolutely be a project that you don't need a Cricut for. So if you don't
That's
have,
what a lot of people are starting to do now, is do it to where projects are double.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of, this group didn't start out as a as with a lot of cricket people. But since I participate in the summits, it becomes a little more important for me to be able to share that stuff.
Question about upcoming things. Not this weekend, the end of this weekend. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't know if I can't think if we've got things coming up. I'm going to be participating in what's called KomoriCon. That's going to be here with my daughter.
KomoriCon.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She's into Comic-Cons.
Okay.
And KomoriCon is in town. And she has anxiety and panic attacks.
Yeah.
And big sister won't do them with her anymore.
Mm.
So we push for her to get out and do the things that she likes and she enjoys. And in order to get her out
it's
in
an
the
anime.
world,
Okay, cool.
mom and dad won't be around forever. So in order to get her out into the world, okay, mom will go with you.
That's awesome. I would go
Mom,
too.
Mom, you
I
can't
like
walk.
cons. I do.
Yeah, it's like, Mom, you can't walk. I've got a walker. I can sit on it. I'm sure there'll be seats sitting around there that I can stop and sit. I'll be fine.
Oh, that'll be
Okay.
really fun. So not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything after Thursday.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think this weekend we do have a co-working on in the group on what you call it.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, that is. I love doing stuff like that with my kids,
Oh, it's
I
I
love that
went last year was my first year with her, and we had so much fun together
it's very
doing
fun.
it. And I took breaks. I even got her to go into one of the summits all by herself, which was surprising, and it shocked her. She had to pop out to make sure I was still there because I was sitting
Yeah,
at a table just outside, but she managed to do it all by herself.
that's
She's
great.
and people are like, well, she's 27. It's like, well, you know
Well,
what? That
yeah,
doesn't change the fact of what she goes through.
yes, I know. I have all three of my kids have anxiety, all three of them. And they have to, take care of their mental health, and that's just the
Yeah.
thing. And they do go through stuff, and it's rough, if
Yeah.
and if they don't have any like a coping skill, to work with. I'm sure it like this. It can be pretty devastating to be in large crowds like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right, Michelle. Everybody does have their own way of dealing with it.
yeah.
Yeah, last night my son wanted me to take him to Target. So, well, I'll drive you, but I'm not going in because I was not dressed. I mean, I was not dressed right. There's no way I was going in. And I got over there and I'm like, all right, I parked. No, it's okay. And he just kept looking at me. And I'm like, I'm not going in. I'm like, it was a no bra night. It was a pants that don't match the shirt in one way or another. Somehow he had it in his head that I was going to leave him there.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to be right here. You can go in. He just wanted to go buy some energy drinks for himself. He's 17. So both my kids, same thing. They both have anxiety issues.
Yeah, it's really very common. And I just think that it's interesting because I didn't know when I was a kid, I didn't know that that's what I was,
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what my experience was called. You know what I mean?
Because it wasn't. It was like for us, we were told you just go tough it out.
Yeah, get over it, especially in my family, we got all the like hard asses in my family, I'm just like, and they're like this. If we're doing something, we're little kids, we're doing something that, could potentially hurt us. They're like, they'll learn. So funny.
My mom was always working, so I was always taking care of my brothers and stuff, but it was the same way. I mean,
Yeah.
I would get stomach aches on my way to school, and I didn't understand. I was like, why do I keep getting a stomach ache? Why am I always sick? And I realized it was just that I was getting anxiety of just
Yes.
going into school or
Yeah.
Yeah, she stopped
My
going to
sister's-
public school because of her panic attacks. She
Yeah.
couldn't even go to regular high school.
yeah, both my kids are homeschooled. They were from very early on.
Yeah. Yeah, it is rough, and I don't
My
know.
sisters and I had an interesting discussion yesterday.
Yeah.
I found out that I'd broken my nose at some point in my life, and I definitely don't remember that. And my sister goes, well, I found out I broke an arm at some point in my life, and I don't remember that either.
Oh,
So,
wow.
obviously, yeah, we were brought up very differently.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, childhood. Oh boy. I'm gonna start gluing stuff into this one too, I think. I like this one, and I think maybe I'm chasing squirrels, you guys. Wait, maybe I should just finish this one.
Are you saying we shouldn't chase squirrels, Kristi?
No, you're absolutely allowed to chase any squirrels that you like.
Thank you. Can I quote you on that for the hubby?
Sure, sure. You guys, I love haunted houses. Does anybody else like haunted houses? I mean, I don't want to go,
I think they're cool, but I wouldn't go in one.
Yeah, because, right? We've
Yeah.
lived our lives. There's no reason. There's no reason to do that.
I say I've been there, I've done that. That's it.
Right. Funny.
That's my
Well,
reasoning.
hey, how about this dude? Yes, I can do this, I think. Maybe I want to.
All right. Yes.
What do I want to do? Well, I guess this is the last page, and I keep like trying to take it apart. Let me just figure it out.
That's not gonna fit. Okay.
Maybe I could just do like a belly band or something. I'll need something for in here too. Okay. I'll make this all mystical stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's cool. Like this. Yeah, I think this is where this one's gonna live.
Why is my brain not feel like something's missing? Oh.
I think I'd never discovered washi tape before. Washi taping out right now.
I forget to use it and then I use it again, then I want every washi tape in the world again. I want to design some and sell mostly because I want the designs myself because I'm always
Yes,
wanting
right.
to design, but I was like, I can design some and sell some.
Yeah, you could. How do you get that printed?
There's a company that does like different types of like washi tapes or acrylic keychains, buttons, badges, pins. I forget the name of it. I'll send it to you when I find
Okay.
it.
Cool.
And then, but they make washi tape, they make pet tape, they make all kinds of stuff. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's fairly reasonable, but of course you do have to buy quantity.
Yes,
But the
right.
quantities aren't bad. They're not terrible.
Oh, well, that's good. So I've been playing around with the idea of using some of my paper designs for like fabric.
Very pretty.
And
There's a company that you can upload your designs and it can be printed on.
yeah, I think it's called well, one of them. I don't know. There's probably more than one, but there's one that's commonly used by crafters, this Spoonflower.
Yeah,
And so oh shoot.
definitely a premium one because I've seen it for the wallpaper and I really love all the wallpaper, but it's a bit costly for me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm designing SVGs, but I'm finding that I really, really kind of prefer to create paper. You know,
Yeah,
paper patterns.
yeah.
It's super chill, I guess,
Where did I have the package? Oh, look, I thought I lost the package for a second. Okay. What? Oh, somebody finally got my number one. Where'd you go?
Let's do it this way.
Need to buy more doilies. Oh.
Doilies,
Mhm.
do you use them in your journals?
I use them on my journals, but recently I was like, oh, these would be cute to package everything up. So I wrap my junk journals, the small ones, I wrap my junk journals like this in the doilies when
Oh,
someone
that's
orders one.
adorable.
So I just put them like this, just as a cute little bonus because who doesn't love a doily?
Right. That's super cute. So what do you do? Like tie it with some cute.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I have a giant roll of baker's twine. If you're gonna get baker's twine, just get the big roll. It's so much cheaper. I've had this thing for like probably 8 years, no, maybe 6 years, something like that. I don't know. Time keeps going by so fast, I'm losing years.
I know, man, right?
But I've had it for a very long time. And I love it. I have this one and then I have a red and white one. I want to get a black and white one next.
I got a whole bunch of them from the dollar store.
Yeah, but this is this.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice big, this thing's lasted me forever. And then when I want to, I can color it whatever color I want. And
You
then
can, you what?
I color it whatever color I want.
Oh, well, that's cool. I hadn't thought of that.
And I wax it to use it for
Yeah.
my journals too.
Oh, yeah. So it's just kind of like an all around good thing to have. I hadn't thought of that.
And see, I just wrap it. And it's cute.
That's very cute. I like that a lot. Hi, Loki.
I keep trying to find the best packaging and everything for my stuff, so I'm not over packaging and I'm not under packaging.
I think that's super cute, you know, nice and simple.
I just put in here for like protection so that it doesn't get killed on the way.
Yeah.
But I can't fit in more than 2. If they buy more than that, then it's got to go in a box. So if I can't find thin enough boxes, they're always super thick boxes.
Yeah. This guy here. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm tired.
I'm almost out of my first batch of Traveler's Notebook journals, which is awesome, which means I need to make more. Hey. Because it's not like it's fun to make them or anything.
Right. Yeah. I love
can I not
crafting. It's so fun.
Fun.
I really didn't know about paper crafting that I would like it so much. But I love it.
So much fun.
It is super, super fun.
Okay, so I will package up my tools after I finish making them. I'm trying to find a doily that's slightly bigger than this, and this one's like, I think an 8.5 inch, 8 3/4 inch. About an 8.5 inch. I thought there were 12-inch ones because then they would wrap just a little
I'm
bit.
sure there probably are. I know that I have a multi-pack
Yeah.
from a dollar store, you know.
Every time I go, they're sold out.
Huh?
Every time I go for the multi-pack, it's sold out. I'm gonna have to like order it from them.
Yeah, you kind of have to order in volume for Dollar Tree, or for the dollar store.
Yeah.
But that's not a big deal if you're going to use it a lot, you know.
Ladies, can I ask a question? Sorry if there's any gents here. I'm not sure if you can see. This is like ribbed. It's got tiny ribs on it. Can I cut that on my Cricut?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Sorry. No, Kristi.
you're fine. No,
I'm so used to answering
the
questions. Is the other side flat or is it also corrugated?
Yeah, no, it's flat.
So make sure you put the corrugated side down and let the Cricut cut on that side.
Okay.
The only thing is when it does it, it will cut it, but you might have a couple of parts where you just got to go in there and snip away a couple things. But that's
Yep. Right. And I should tape it down then, right? So it gets good
oh yeah.
adhesion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Make sure like
my
tell
brain's ticking over, that's all. Yep.
tell it it's like really thick book board or something. Tell it it's something a little thicker.
Yeah,
Make
and
Oh,
make
yes.
it do more cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Thank you.
wouldn't it say like corrugated cardboard? I think that's.
I know
that
it
might
had
be-
it at one point. Let me check. Let me see if it has it still.
I have an old Explorer though, you guys, so that could be.
The
Yeah.
Explorer had like a special with the deep cut. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera. Let me see if it still does. Make it continue. Oh, I think my machine's off. Is my machine off? My machine's almost never off.
What machine do you have, Andrea?
Andrea,
Sorry?
what machine do you have?
I make a 3. So yeah.
We'll definitely do it.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what my options are as far as to cut with. Browse all materials.
Yeah, it should tell you.
So generally I use the cardstock for intricate cuts type one on most of my papers, but because it cuts it twice then.
Oh, I figured it out now.
And it's not opening my.
I'm going through my 20,000 options.
Yeah. It's weird. Mine is not opening the thing.
Poster board, mat board. I'm going, how thick is it?
You could do matte board because it's corrugated card. It's corrugated cardstock.
No, oh yeah, corrugated cardboard.
Yeah.
That's an option. Yep.
Yours
Alright.
is gonna, it's, I forget if, does it give you 2 options? Corrugated cardboard with and without or something?
No.
So yeah, the corrugated cardboard, the only thing with corrugated cardboard is it usually has like a cardboard box, how it has the little waffle in between 2 sheets.
Oh yes, yes.
So yours is like a corrugated cardstock, so it only has the one. So that's what it is. It's because it always has to cut on the flat side, and it should be fine.
Sorry, there is another corrugated. It's corrugated paper.
That one.
That one.
I'm like, I remember it having like 2 options because one is when it has both. The corrugated cardboard is because it has 2 flat sides, and then the wavy thing is in the inside.
Yeah.
And that one is the corrugated cardstock is what you have, because I love that stuff. I use it a lot.
Okay, thank you. All right. Cool beans. Appreciate that. All right, let's turn this video off because you don't need to look at me anymore. Thank you.
Let's see. I think I'm going to put this in here.
And Kristi, I made a new paper.
You did?
You want to see it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I folded all my papers already, but you can see that's what the cover is gonna look like. I'm making a mini out of it because I want a small guy. That's one of the covers.
That's really pretty, Minette.
Pretty.
And then Do I have them printed? Yeah, I do. I have them printed, but I chopped up a couple of pages, so you're not going to see all of them, but I'll show you what's missing.
So like when you have a book to make,
They
How
all
do
come from books that I want to make.
right. But I mean, are they papers that you create and then you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like I design it and then, but I design it with usually in mind already something that I want to make or for a class every time I design them. Because
I guess
want
what I'm asking is like, what is, I don't, I mean, I'm asking without wanting to like, step on your toes, but what is your process for creating
I'll
like
show you.
a book like that? Like, do you have like a specific way that you do it? Like you create like this many papers, like just regular background papers, this many, whatever.
I'll show you as I walk through, I'll tell you my thought process. This is what happens.
Oh, thank you.
So the first thing I did was I saw this image and I was like, ooh, that's pretty. What else is there? So I use Creative Fabrica for my graphics.
Right.
And the reason that I started, it just depends. So like it can be like the one that was this one, the Vibrant Wonderland, was because I wanted an Alice in Wonderland. Everybody was making different Alice in Wonderland journals, but I wanted something bright and pretty and
Yes.
a little edgier, a little different. And I found a couple of things. I started looking up stuff and then I made it because I wanted it. It had
Right.
nothing to do with anything else because I wanted to make it for myself. The amount of pages, I never have anything set. I try. So I did actually recently limit myself to a 5-page thing for this one, and I'll show you why. So
Okay.
like I was like, this would make a great cover. I said, but I'm going to offer 2 covers. So I was like, this would also make a pretty cover or something. So I did, okay, covers. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I always like to make, which I already cut it and I'll show it to you though. I always like to make on the inside of my books personally, the first inside cover either always has a pocket, a library card, or some sort of like plaque area, like write a dedication or a title or whatever you want. So I was like, all right, well, I got to design something for that. So I did that. And then I used that other piece for the back. And then I always try to think of what's going to go on a spine. And then I'm like, okay, so I start coming up with, I see all the different graphics. And then I just start putting them together to see how I would like them. So this one's called Eclectic, Vintage Eclectic Nature. I did it kind of weird, or Eclectic Vintage Nature. Yeah. Because I wanted something that was vintagey, naturey, but also had a little bit of like a darker edge. So there's butterflies, but there's more like dark colored moths and stuff like that. And I wanted it to be nature inspired, but
so then you find all these papers and they're not necessarily in the same pack, but you just put them all together.
No, I design each one.
Oh, you design each one.
Yeah. So like, I have a few base packs of like maybe vintage looking papers.
Okay.
And then I add the graphics to them. So like this one was just a plain, like kind of just background papers. And then I add the graphics that I want to it. Same thing with this one. So this one, I added all the different butterflies and things like that and the moths over another paper. And I'll usually manipulate the paper or double it or so I like, for instance, like this one's like just a base graph paper, but I'll tint it digitally. I'll change the color of the paper. I'll change the color.
Gotcha.
It might be like a gray and colorish, and I'll change it to beige or pink or whatever it happens to be, and then add all the graphics to it. And then I play with the different, I'll edit pieces out. So like this one had more paper up here that was
Mhm.
kind of weird. And so then I edited out a bunch of stuff
Gotcha.
and then put it on here, and then like made it a little more translucent so you could still see like the lines through it and things like that.
Cool.
Like this one it sort of was a paper, like a bigger paper, but then I found an overlay to make it look kind of like a glassing
Oh, that's
folded
cool.
bag over
Yes.
it. So then I layered that on top of it. And then I think I
Cool.
layered in, I think a little bit of like, there was another overlay that I used to make it look just a little older.
Hmm.
So I'll do that. Like I'll get different pieces. This one's made of like a basic crumpled looking paper. Then I added watercolor overlays, and then I added graphics. Some of the graphics I get from Canva, some of them I get from Creative Fabrica.
Okay.
And kind of mix and
Use
match
those
them.
too.
Yeah. So like this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pieces that I put together just for this one little branch guy.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, it just depends. I don't ever I try and make sure that I never, sometimes if I do it, I do it by accident. But definitely never just get a paper and mix and match the papers, because then I'm on that like kind of slippery slope of copyright and all that. So I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for I redo them all.
Yeah. So that's really cool. That's good to know, because I really like designing. I like drawing, but I can't draw everything. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to draw every aesthetic that I like, I don't think.
Yeah, and
So,
I'll go in there and like erase something I don't like, or redraw a line, or fix it a little, or move it around, or repaste it a different way, or like this was just
that's
lace.
cool.
I
I
love
like
the
that.
lace. The lace itself was like a strip like this,
Mhm.
and it was bigger. So I manipulated it and kind of grouped it and to make it a little different. It was funny too, because it kept making little funny faces. Oh. And what happened is that I realized, because this is like a 40-page kit that I ended up making.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll end up like 20 pages, and then I'll be like, oh, but it would be kind of cool if I did this. And then it'll add like a couple more pages. And then like, wait a minute, I kind of think this might look neat. And I'll put it up for sale. And then like by the end of the week, I've added like 20 more pages. So it started off with a few pages.
Pretty cool. Do you send out that there's an upgrade or something, or?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, I always tell people that, hey, if you ever buy a kit from me, always, if you're going to use it again and print it again, go back and download it again. I never do an expiration on downloading my kits.
Right.
So that, because I know how I am about adding more things. I know there's missing pages in that I think I cut up apart already, but so I always tell people, like, check back every so often. It will have a date of when that file was created. Because I'm trying to figure out a way for the system to automatically do it. That, hey, there's been an update to this file. Which I think I found it. I gotta see if it's in there or not. Because yeah, it's a little weird. So I gotta see if that works or not. Because I did it with this one. When I made the cover, I had that already in mind, and that wasn't part of the count. That was part of the count of the ephemeras and things like that. So that was like part of a 10-page of that, and there was 30 pages of just pages of, one half sheet pages. So there's 60 pages altogether. But then I realized, oh, though, if I use this for the inside cover and the other side, I'm actually short 1. So I was going to just add them to the kit, but I instead, and if you guys want to grab them, you can go grab them. I instead made 5 extra pages, and that's the only time I will limit myself. And I told myself no more than 5. I need the one oddball and only 4 more, because as soon as I started making them, I was like, oh, I could add this and I can add this. I'm like, no, I'm only gonna do 5 pages. That's it, 5. So I ended up making 5 pages of just lace pages. So there's a freebie you can
Oh,
get.
I love those.
5 lace pages.
Those are so cute.
And then because I wanted to make it in a mini, so I made it in a mini with like 4 signatures. It works out if you make it, it works out. You end up with 4 signatures, but these 2 are like left over. It just depends on how many pages you
Those are
want.
so cute. So then when you make them like smaller, do you just resize your papers?
Yeah, so what I did was I told it to print it instead of because I make the papers to print landscape so that
Yeah.
it takes up the full sheet. So I told it instead to print it portrait mode, 2 per page. So when I did it though, it did make them kind of a bit smaller. So you can see like it made them like that big instead for 2 on the page. And then I did the same thing with the ephemera and all of the extra bits. So I have itty bitty ones. I have itty bitty ephemera.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So I had it cut half sheets, and this is the ephemera. Oh yeah, you guys didn't see the
That's
ephemera.
really cute.
I cut up all the ephemera already. I don't know what possessed me to cut it up by hand, but I did. Usually I cut it on my Cricut.
Those are
This
all
is
so
all the
cute.
ephemera you get with the kit. So, oh, here
So
you can see the like this is the pile of the ephemera that comes with it. I ended up making 10 pages of ephemera, so it's like
Wow.
that one.
Great.
No, you did see the ephemera. I think there was some missing. And then the original ephemera that I printed, like this is on that matte photo paper, but it's a funny one. I don't like this one. I ended up trying a different brand, and it dulled it instead of brightening it like my other one used to. This one I printed.
But I think muted looks really good with that style.
It does. It looks good. But I thought so like for this set, it's perfect. But I was like kind of, usually I do it so that it makes it really bright. And I was kind of surprised. But this, the big one that actually goes with the big book, when I printed it on, Michael's has like this shimmer white paper that has like a gold shimmer to it. So like, it has like this, you can just see the gold.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Ooh.
That's so cool.
And it's the only thing about the paper that I tell people, it looks like this. This is the paper. I don't know if I can catch the light. The sun's kind of going a little funny.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you can barely see it, but it has like a little bit of a shimmer, and you barely notice it. Like in person, you can barely see it, but you can feel it. And the other side is a plain white. I like the look. I don't know if I like the cardstock quality itself. It's not very
almost pearlescent.
Yeah, it's like a pearlescent, but it's got a gold instead to it, like a gold dusty.
Okay.
It's really pretty.
Really.
But for some reason the back is really I don't know, I can't explain it. I can tell the quality's not there. And so when I glue things, you have to be careful, because if you put too much glue, it right away wants to start buckling on you and stuff. Because I used it for the cover right here, and you see how like it doesn't quite fold very nice.
Oh, gotcha.
A little bit. So it's a pretty paper, but I don't think it's the best quality. And I got it by accident because I thought I was buying a 100 pack of regular 65 pound. And I bought a black and a white because I'm always using the 65 pound or the 110. And I accidentally bought a black and white shimmer instead. And the black shimmer is pretty.
I
That's
love shimmer.
this one.
I'm into it.
Yeah, this one's it's on the cover. It's like a gunmetal gray. This is the black shimmer.
Ooh, I like
That's
that
pretty.
a lot.
This one seems to fold a little better. I got a little crack right there, but nothing too, yeah, like I did get a bit of cracking. I don't know why, but it cracks like easily. And I know every trick possible to keep your paper from cracking, and it was cracking. I started thinking it was me, and I'm like, no, it's the paper. There's something wrong with it. But it's pretty.
It is.
Yeah, I know
Very pretty.
Michael started.
I got
buying
a
them here.
piece of pink that's kind of like that, but I didn't try to print on it. I actually just used it as a background color. But yeah.
I try to make like fun interactive-y type things because I like interactive stuff. So I try to make as much that's interactive as possible. But yeah, this is like the giant pile. I didn't realize I kept going and going and going. And I always do that. But I do try to do basics. So I ask like friends and things like
Mhm.
what am I missing? Is there something you would want to see in a thing? Because it's not my thing. I don't usually make them, but since I'm always making them for myself, I started thinking, oh, I might as well offer them up. Why not?
Sure.
But I usually always put some sort of pockets, corners, tickets, tags. I like doing the little tabs, at least a set of tabs.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
And then I'll do like a few labels or something cute and a little bit of ephemera of some kind, like either like flowers or butterflies. It just depends on the theme. So there's always like a few basics that I try to make sure that go into it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm what I was trying to figure out was how do you know what to put in each thing? But I guess if you have like specific, basic things that you always do, that's oh, come on.
But at the same time, sometimes they're I make them for a specific project. So I made this one so that it filled up the supply book. So I made it
Oh, yeah.
to fill up this book.
That
So
is super cute.
I told people that never buy it right away when I post it because I'm usually posting it because I need to set up all the links.
Yeah.
So don't buy it the minute that I post it. Wait for a second. Because if you wait for a second, I'll usually give you some sort of coupon code or something. So I did it where, and it's always members. You do have to be a member though. But membership's free. So I did it so that if you want to buy just the kit, you can. And if you're a member, you go to the forums and you'll get a $5 off coupon.
That's pretty cool.
But if you want to get it for free, you take the course or the workshop to make the supply gift book, and it's only a $5 difference. So not only do you get the kit for free, but you also get the workshop for almost the exact same price. And
Wait, what does the workshop teach?
The workshop teaches you how to do the full supply gift book.
Oh.
So this is the base. Like it's Halloween just because it was Halloween when I was teaching it, but so this is like the big, it teaches you how to make the whole base, and there's like a paper holder, and it teaches you how to make the envelopes. So you learn how to make envelopes and the little pin holder and more envelopes for charms, a washi tape bar, bling area, how to make pockets.
I love that. Maybe I want to take
All
that.
this.
Take that course.
It's fun. I started realizing like, oh, if I'm making these, I can show people how to make them. But
Yeah.
I always thought, people would want to watch it live together, and most people like just want to sign up for a class and take it on their own. So I was like, all right, I'll start taping them.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
fact that we can do it in a time that suits us is a good idea, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, people like me that are on the wrong side of the world.
Yeah, and that was a funny thing. Like for my site, I guess maybe people just didn't believe me. Because I teach cricket classes, so I have them though because I kept weird hours anyway, and my day job that I had, I actually taught to the other side of the world most of the time, because I had weird hours. I had like an overnight shift, so I would start my shift off in the US with my US people, and then there would be a tiny little hour gap or so, and then I would start getting Australia, and then everybody else would start like trickling in. I would start ending up with the UK and Ireland and everything, and then finally end back in the US again.
That's pretty cool.
So I used to offer classes like almost 24/7. But I don't think people believed
Nice.
me that I was up at that time.
Yeah. So now how much was the course? If you don't mind my asking.
30 for the course, but there's a $5 off coupon, so you get it for 25.
Now, can you take that anytime?
Anytime. It's a recorded.
It'll
It's
stay,
pre-recorded.
it'll stay there. Okay.
I don't take them down unless something end of the world and there's no more internet. It's always there. I don't believe in taking them down unless like nobody has bothered with the course or nobody's bothered to buy something, or the only time usually it'll disappear.
Okay.
And any updates to courses, like if I update a technique or change a little, or I figured out a better way or something like that, you always have access to that course. It's kind of fun.
Cool.
Cool.
But like all my courses, I want it so that all my courses that are like that come with something. And like so far they all come with like large digital packs or something, or an extra course or an extra video or something like that.
That's really good, Monique. I think that makes it more appealing, especially for cash-strapped people that you know, really struggle with paying for stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Social Security doesn't go very far.
No, I agree, Gina.
I am there with everybody, so I'm like, as much as I'd like to offer everything for free, if I keep doing this, I do have to charge a little bit at least.
Oh yeah.
Totally understandable.
This stuff costs. If it wasn't for my daughter helping out, I don't think I would be doing half of what I'm doing.
And I always, anytime, and sometimes people have to stop me from like telling them, but anytime I offer a class or something, there's always alternatives. You don't have to get specifically what's on there, and I will give you different ways to do it way more frugally. Because I am a bargain shopper. I grew up poor.
Yeah, same.
I grew up poor.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people how to do it a different way. Like, yes, you can go buy all the fancy tools, but you don't have that fancy tool. You have a
Right.
finger.
Yeah.
Use your
I like
finger.
doing that too. I feel like it's just a kind thing to do, you know, just because not everybody is in the same position.
Mm-mm. When I started seeing like some of the new stamp tools and stuff, I'm like, you want how much for what?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That's why when we came out with our tool, we're trying to bring the cost down. So the least amount of
That's-
materials and all of that, that was the one thing, eliminating that brace that we had to do. The extra filament cost us more, so we ended up having to put the price point at what it was, because we had to pay extra for filament just to build it that doesn't even stay on the product, but it costs more.
Eh,
So now we have it like reduced down. So we're hoping that if we can get it and everything works out and it does work this way, that we can bring the cost down a little bit on the tool.
That's my
it
next
is,
purchase.
it's worth it. Because, I told you that I bought that one from the cartonnage lady,
Mhm.
that metal one, and it's nice and heavy duty, but it only does corners. It doesn't do other stuff,
And that was my thing. I didn't want to buy all those other ones. I saw other tools or sets of tools, but they were like $50.
Yes.
And I was like,
Oh, and that's what I was going to say is that yours was $30, and then we got, a pretty giant significant discount. Well, theirs was 20, and that's all it was just the one, um corner thingy. So,
yeah, because they were asking me off camera on with the scrapbooking fun summit.
uh-huh.
They're asking me off camera, like, hey, I didn't want to ask you on camera, but like, We Are Memory Keepers has that tool. And I said, yeah, I know. I wanted that tool. That's why I made this tool. And I always let everybody know I wanted that tool, but I couldn't find it. And it was $20 to $30 for that one tool. And it did a couple more things. And it did kind of do what my tool does, but not exactly the same way. And mine's made for 2 sizes. So you know how like where you're making the thicker chipboard, you're stacking for the other book that you're making, just flip it to the other side. And
Yes.
now it's good for thicker, or if you like making like covers with batting that are really thick, that's what the other side of the tool's for.
Yes.
To make sure that you get the proper coverage and you don't have to worry about it's one tool and you can only use it for one thing one way. And I was like, I don't want a tool like that. I need it to have good value because I didn't want a bunch of pieces.
Right.
And that's where my brother like came up with the slide part. When he came up with the slidey part, I was like, oh yeah. And then it's like, it's super long, but it doesn't take up a ton of space. And then he made it to make sure that it balanced nicely so that if you hang it up on the wall, it just hangs up like that and doesn't take up a lot of space. So if you have like a pegboard, it hangs on your pegboard perfectly balanced and it doesn't take up a ton of space.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's why we're doing the same thing with the glue holder. He was showing it to me yesterday. I have like the prototype of the very first one because I just wanted one because it was cute. And then he was showing me how he
lighting up?
changed it. What was that?
Did you get it lighting up?
Oh, it lights up. Right now, I think with all my batteries dying because I was using it over the last few days. But I got to change batteries again. But he got it to light up and he got it better because this one was a prototype. It like the lights are under this, but it's just a string of lights and the kind that come with the little battery pack. And so like they're in there, you don't see them and there isn't a ton of strings hanging out or anything like that. It's sandwiched between 2 things. But we were trying to figure out like, hey, I'm not going to sell it with the battery pack coming out like that because I've already gotten glue all over it because of it. And so then he created a little drawer with different lights. So the lights are actually now built into the body the way that he did it. So his are like all built in now. And he created a drawer in the back that goes completely smooth and you can't see it. It like it's really smooth, so it's not super obvious. But he was trying to figure out how to pull it out because it's a little hard to pinch. So he completely designed a battery pack to go in from scratch. And then it has all the lights. But then he's like, I'm going to be on vacation for the next 2 weeks. I need something to do. I mean, he has plenty to do because he's got to make me some more tools. But he's like, I want something else too. So he ended up ordering rechargeable packs. So the ones we're going to make, you guys will be the first one to hear it, but the ones we're going to make don't need batteries. They're rechargeable with your cell phone charger.
That's so cute.
Nice.
That's
and
cool.
Then he was saying that if we want to, we could do it now or we can wait. So it's up to you guys if you want to do it now or you want to wait. he wants to make another one where the charger is built in to your rocks at the bottom, and you literally can just like leave your rocks plugged in somewhere and just put it like that, and it recharges your cauldron, and then you can just take it with you to go craft and then bring it back and charge it, or even leave it on there and it still light up.
That's pretty cute.
So he was like, and then we're working on a Christmas one. The
Guys,
cauldron I'm using
so
all year long.
genius.
Yesterday we were like mapping out plans to do just a cute fun, not as complicated, but I think it's starting to get there again. So we're working on a Christmas one and a couple more tools. So we're like, we'll see how it all works out. It's always fun coming up with all the new stuff.
So now I feel like I want to go and start creating some papers and stuff.
It's fun to create papers.
It
Like
is.
you can limit yourself. Like if you want to sell a specific one, you can say, okay, this is what my price point is going to be, and this is how many I want to do. And yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll maybe I'll look through some of my junk journals and just like take note of all the little things that are in there, and then I can make a list and then start there. That'd be good. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah. I usually will ask my friends, like, what's missing? Was there something you wish you had in there? Something you want different? Anything you want a little, anything you wish was in there? Anything you really never use in there?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I always make them at least so that they're this size. So they're the 8.5 by 5.5 or something.
Yeah, I like that size a lot.
It's like a good size. But I always tell people you can always resize it, and then I always give them in 3 options. I always give a JPEG version, so that if you have an edge-to-edge printer, use the JPEG version, because a lot of printers won't print anything else edge to edge unless it thinks it's a photo. So you tell it it's a photo and it'll print edge to edge. And then I offer a PNG version with the transparent background, so that if you want to load it to a Cricut or whatever, it's a transparent background. And then I offer a PDF version because it's just easy printing, and the PDF doesn't try to resize it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good idea.
I have not mastered SVG creating yet, and I really hate making them. So
I'm getting pretty good at it, but I mean, I don't see why anything in a journal like that would need to be SVG.
yeah, mostly just the ephemera, I think, but not really.
Yeah, maybe like a print and cut, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that hard to do, would it, ladies? I mean,
I don't think
most of that
so.
was simple boxes. So you just put a box underneath it and flatten it.
Yeah, but sometimes when you bring those kind of files in, if you don't arrange things just right, you know how you open my Bright's flowers thing and they kind of just went all over the place. There's a method to that, you know. And so I'm going back over my files to figure out, you know, how to make it so it doesn't do that, you know. But yeah, there's steps and stuff, and it can be kind of a pain in the butt. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. This was super fun. I loved hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, one quick question.
I'm gonna hop off and go, and I don't know, I just bought some new toner things.
For your printer?
Yes, and I bought an off-brand, and you're supposed to change the chip.
Ah.
And it's not working. So I'm bummed, but it's fine.
Can you take the chip off the old one and put it on the new one?
Yes, you're supposed to, but here's the thing. is that what you call it? HP made it really difficult to do that.
Ah,
So they have like this set of tools that you can use to remove the chip, but it doesn't work that way. I think Hewlett Packard got onto them. So I'm gonna probably have to send these back, and thankfully I didn't open them yet, and then just buy the regular ones because I don't want to mess with it. It seems
Yeah.
too crazy. Like I have to dig it out with tools and everything, and I can easily break it. So I just don't want to do that.
I love the eco tank now. So much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I have one also. I have a Canon, which I should probably use a lot more, but I love my laser printer. It's just so nice, but I should probably use the other one.
Don't they sell, yeah, they sell like the toner powder refills. Can you open it?
I don't know. They look like this. And
toner powder gets everywhere.
yeah, toner powder, yeah. So here's where I guess right here would be where the chip goes in, but it doesn't slip in and out the way that on the HP version, it doesn't do that. So,
Okay.
and they have the market, of it. They don't, nobody
That's
else.
why they sell their printers cheap, because the ink's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $100.
Do not open it.
Every
Color.
cartridge is $100.
Yeah.
However,
Oh, mail.
I bought them 2 years ago, and I'm just barely replacing them now,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and really, it tells me like a long time. It told me like last year, that my ink was almost out, and I've been running it this whole time,
Yeah.
still. And it's finally getting out of black ink. So I think I'm going to replace the black ink and leave the other ones undone for a bit and see how that goes. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ladies.
I will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Have a good week.
Guys too.